What if the next Washington quarter you pick up could completely change the way you look at pocket change forever? Today on Rare USA Mint X, we're revealing 5 incredible Washington quarters that have stunned collectors. The first 2 coins are the true stars of this countdown. A 1,964 Washington quarter with an estimated collector value of $2,420,000 and a 1,944 Washington quarter carrying an estimated value of $4,620,000. These 2 are the super rare legends of today's list. But don't skip the other 3 coins, because even though they're more common, they're still worth handsome amounts in today's collector market and could surprise many coin enthusiasts. Stay until the end, because each coin has a unique story, and one small detail could completely change the way you look at your own collection. The first coin on today's list is the famous 1,964 Washington quarter without a mint mark, featuring a dark black antique appearance and a fine, circulated condition that gives it a mysterious personality collectors often admire. The year 1964 holds a special place in American coin history. It was the final year that Washington quarters were produced for circulation with 90% silver before the United States changed to clad coinage. Because of that historic transition, collectors have spent decades studying and preserving examples from this important year. The missing mint mark means this quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where millions were produced. Yet not every surviving example tells the same story. Time, circulation, and storage conditions created unique appearances, and some developed deep, antique toning that gives the coin an eye-catching character. Many collectors appreciate naturally aged surfaces because they reflect the coin's long journey through American history. Another reason for the excitement surrounding this issue is its connection to the end of an era. For many collectors, owning a 1,964 silver Washington quarter means owning a piece of the last chapter before a dramatic change in United States coinage. That historical significance keeps demand strong generation after generation. Condition also plays a huge role. A fine condition example still displays important design details while carrying the marks of decades of circulation. Every scratch, every worn edge, and every layer of natural toning becomes part of the coin's story. Serious collectors often enjoy finding pieces with honest wear because they represent real history rather than modern perfection. When examining a 1,964 quarter, collectors pay close attention to the portrait of George Washington, the eagle on the reverse, the date, lettering, rim quality, and the natural color of the silver. A dark, antique appearance can make a coin stand out in a collection when the toning developed naturally over many years. This coin also carries emotional appeal. It was a quarter that Americans used in everyday life during an important period of history. Countless people bought groceries, paid for parking, or saved these coins without realizing future generations would treasure them as historic collectibles. Collector interest has remained steady because silver coinage continues to attract both experienced numismatists and newcomers to the hobby. Historical importance, silver content, and classic American design combine to create a coin that many enthusiasts want to own. According to the estimated collector figure provided for today's countdown, this particular rare 1,964 Washington quarter is associated with an estimated market value of $2,420,000. Actual auction prices depend heavily on authenticity, condition, rarity, and professional grading, and exceptional examples can attract enormous attention from collectors. If you believe you have a similar quarter, never clean or polish it. Cleaning can reduce collector appeal. Handle the coin carefully by the edges, store it safely, and consider professional authentication if unusual characteristics are present. Small details can make a significant difference in the collector market. The story of the 1964 Washington Quarter reminds us that history can survive in the smallest objects. What looks like an ordinary piece of silver may carry decades of American heritage and a fascinating journey through time. And that's only the beginning of today's countdown, because the next coins bring even more surprising stories and collector favorites. Stay with Rare USA Mint X because fresh coin discoveries and exciting collecting adventures arrive here every single day. As we continue today's incredible countdown on Rare USA Mint X, the excitement reaches a whole new level with a Washington Quarter that has fascinated collectors for generations. At first glance, this 1944 Washington Quarter, without a mint mark, may look like an ordinary old silver coin with a gray-black appearance and honest circulation wear. But experienced collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. Some of the most talked about coins in American numismatic history are those that quietly survived decades of everyday use while preserving a remarkable piece of the nation's past. The year 1944 was one of the most significant periods in American history. During the final years of the Second World War, millions of Americans handled these quarters in daily commerce. They passed through the hands of soldiers' families, factory workers, and businesses across the country. Every surviving 1944 quarter carries a connection to that historic era, making it a favorite among collectors who appreciate both history and classic American coinage. Because this coin has no mint mark, it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Collectors carefully examine Philadelphia issues from the 1940s because they represent an important chapter in the Washington Quarter series. Over many decades, countless examples were lost, damaged, melted, or heavily worn, while attractive survivors became increasingly desirable to enthusiasts building complete collections. One of the most eye-catching features of this particular coin is its gray-black antique appearance. Natural toning can develop over many years as silver reacts to its environment, creating unique patterns and colors. Many collectors appreciate naturally aged surfaces because they give every coin an individual personality and make no two examples exactly alike. A beautifully toned Washington Quarter often attracts immediate attention when displayed in a collection. Fine condition also adds an interesting story to this coin. Years of circulation have softened some of the design details while leaving the important features recognizable. The portrait of George Washington still reflects the strength of the original design, while the reverse eagle continues to showcase the artistry that made the series one of America's most beloved coin designs. For many collectors, a coin with honest wear tells the story of real American history. Another reason collectors watch for 1944 Washington Quarters is the historical importance of the silver composition used during this period. These quarters belong to the classic silver era of United States coinage, a feature that continues to attract interest from both longtime numismatists and new collectors entering the hobby. Their combination of silver content, wartime history, and enduring design helps maintain strong collector enthusiasm. When specialists study a 1944 Washington Quarter, they inspect the date, lettering, rim, mint characteristics, strike quality, and the overall preservation of the surfaces. They also look for unusual features, attractive toning, and original details that may increase collector appeal. Even subtle characteristics can make one example stand apart from another. Now comes the moment everyone has been waiting for. According to the estimated collector figure provided for this countdown, This rare 1944 Washington quarter, without a mint mark, displaying its distinctive gray-black appearance and fine condition, carries an estimated collector market value of $4,620,000. Actual selling prices for any individual coin depend on authentication, rarity, condition, and professional grading, with exceptional examples receiving the greatest attention from collectors. If you discover a similar quarter in an old family collection, inherited coin album, or forgotten box of keepsakes, resist the urge to clean or polish it. Original surfaces are often highly appreciated by collectors. Handle the coin carefully by its edges, store it in a protective holder, and seek expert evaluation if you believe it has unusual characteristics. The 1944 Washington quarter reminds us that remarkable pieces of American history can survive through generations. A single coin can preserve memories of a defining era while continuing to inspire collectors and history lovers alike. Every detail, from its silver composition to its naturally aged appearance, adds another chapter to its remarkable story. And don't go anywhere, because our countdown is far from over. The next coins on today's list continue to reveal fascinating stories, collector favorites, and hidden pieces of American history. Rare USA Mint X brings you fresh coin discoveries and exciting collector updates every single day, so stay with us as we uncover the next incredible Washington quarter waiting on our list. As we move deeper into today's Washington quarter countdown on Rare USA Mint X, it's time for a coin that proves an important lesson in the collecting world. Not every exciting coin has to be a legendary rarity to earn respect. Some quarters have built a loyal following because of their history, beautiful appearance, and steady collector demand. Our third coin is exactly that kind of treasure, the 1959 Washington quarter with a D mint mark, showing an eye-catching yellow and black appearance on both the obverse and reverse, and preserved in very fine condition. At first glance, many people might overlook this quarter. It doesn't always create the same headlines as the rarest Washington quarters, but experienced collectors know that classic silver quarters from the 1950s deserve a closer look. Every surviving example carries a piece of American history, connecting us to an era of economic growth and everyday life across the United States. The D Mint mark tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the nation's most important coin-producing facilities. Millions of quarters were produced there, but decades of circulation, loss, and melting have reduced the number of attractive survivors. Collectors searching for complete Washington quarter sets often enjoy finding well-preserved Denver Mint examples that still display strong details and original character. One of the most interesting features of this particular coin is its unusual yellow and black appearance across both sides. Over many years, silver coins can develop natural toning from storage conditions and environmental exposure. These changing colors create a unique personality for every coin, making each piece different from the next. Collectors often appreciate naturally toned coins because they tell a story of age and preservation that cannot be duplicated. The very fine condition of this quarter adds even more charm. Important design elements remain clear, from the portrait of George Washington to the famous eagle on the reverse. The lettering and date continue to stand out, while the moderate wear reminds collectors that this coin once traveled through countless American hands, witnessing decades of history along the way. The background of the 1959 Washington quarter is another reason it remains popular. During this period, the United States was still producing circulating quarters with 90% silver. This classic composition has made pre-1965 Washington quarters enduring favorites among collectors who appreciate traditional American coinage and its historical significance. When specialists examine a 1959D quarter, they study the strike quality, mint mark placement, surface preservation, rim condition, and the originality of the toning. Even though this issue is considered more common than some key dates, attractive examples with pleasing eye appeal continue to find enthusiastic collectors who value quality and history. Now it's time for the value reveal. According to the estimated figure you've provided for this countdown, this 1959D Washington quarter in very fine condition, with its distinctive yellow and black appearance, carries an estimated collector value of $195.80. Actual market prices for individual coins vary depending on authenticity, condition, eye appeal, and collector demand, but well-preserved silver Washington quarters remain popular additions to many collections. For collectors and treasure hunters, this coin offers an important reminder. Never ignore an older silver quarter simply because it isn't one of the rarest dates. Check the mint mark, study the condition, and look carefully at the natural surfaces and color. Small details can make a coin more desirable to fellow enthusiasts, and preserving its originality is always a smart decision. Avoid cleaning the coin, handle it by the edges, and store it properly to protect its long-term collector appeal. The 1959D Washington quarter shows that the hobby of coin collecting isn't only about the biggest rarities. It's also about discovering beautiful pieces of American history that have survived through generations and continue to capture the imagination of collectors. Its classic silver composition, Denver mint heritage, attractive natural appearance, and enduring popularity make it a memorable part of today's countdown. And our journey isn't over yet. We still have 2 more Washington quarters to reveal, including some of the most exciting coins on today's list. Stay tuned to Rare USA Mint X for fresh coin discoveries, fascinating collecting stories, and daily updates as we continue uncovering the hidden history behind America's most beloved coins. The countdown on Rare USA Mint X continues, and now we've reached a Washington quarter that carries a different kind of excitement. Our 4th coin may not be one of the legendary rarities on today's list, but it proves that modern American coinage can still capture the attention of collectors and become a treasured part of a collection. This is the 1998 Washington quarter with a D mint mark, preserved in extra fine condition, and admired for its sharp details and strong collector appeal. At first glance, many people would simply see an ordinary quarter. After all, millions of Americans used 1998 quarters every day for shopping, travel, and everyday transactions. Yet coin collectors know that the story doesn't end there. Time passes quickly, and coins that once filled cash registers gradually disappear from circulation as they are lost, damaged, or saved by collectors. The D Mint mark tells us this quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest coin-producing facilities in the United States. Denver Mint quarters have long been popular among collectors building date and mint mark sets, and well-preserved examples continue to attract attention because of their quality and historical place in the Washington Quarter series. One of the biggest strengths of this coin is its extra-fine condition. The portrait of George Washington remains bold and attractive, while the eagle on the reverse displays impressive detail. The lettering, date, and rim retain much of their original sharpness, giving the coin an eye-catching appearance that collectors appreciate. Finding older circulation coins with limited wear becomes more challenging as the years pass, making attractive examples enjoyable additions to a collection. The year 1998 also represents an interesting period in American coinage history. It was the final full year before the introduction of the famous State Quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs ever launched in the United States. Because of this, many collectors enjoy owning 1998 Washington quarters as part of the classic design era that came before the dramatic changes of the following years. Collectors often study coins like this carefully, paying attention to the mint mark, strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. Even ordinary issues become more desirable when they have attractive details and have been well cared for over the years. A coin's journey through history and its state of preservation both contribute to its place in the collecting hobby. Now comes the value reveal for today's countdown. According to the estimated figure provided for this video, this 1998D Washington quarter in extra fine condition carries an estimated collector value of $49.80. The actual price of any individual coin depends on factors such as authenticity, condition, demand, and the preferences of collectors, but attractive examples continue to hold interest among Washington quarter enthusiasts. For anyone checking pocket change or old family collections, this coin offers a valuable lesson. Never overlook a quarter simply because it seems modern. Check the date, inspect the mint mark, and look closely at the condition. Coins that have remained in nice shape over the years can become enjoyable collectibles and important pieces in a complete Washington quarter set. To protect collector appeal, avoid cleaning the coin and handle it carefully by the edges. The 1998D Washington quarter reminds us that every coin has a story. It represents the closing years of a classic American design that served the nation for decades and became one of the most recognizable coins in United States history. Its connection to that tradition gives it a lasting place in the hearts of collectors. Our countdown isn't finished yet. One final Washington quarter remains, and it's ready to bring another fascinating chapter to today's adventure through American coin history. Stay with Rare USA Mint X, where fresh coin discoveries, collector stories, and exciting numismatic updates arrive every single day for enthusiasts across the country. We've reached the final coin in today's countdown on Rare USA Mint X, and what a way to end the journey. Throughout this video, we've explored legendary Washington quarters, historic silver issues, and collector favorites, but our fifth coin reminds us that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Sometimes, a coin that many people might spend without a second thought can become an exciting discovery for collectors who know exactly what to look for. Today's final spotlight belongs to the 1973 Washington quarter with a D mint mark, displaying a distinctive sky green spot on the reverse and preserved in very fine condition. The story of the 1973D Washington quarter begins at the Denver Mint, where millions of quarters were struck to meet the growing demands of the American economy. These coins became part of everyday life, traveling through banks, stores, vending machines, and family savings jars across the country. Over the decades, countless examples disappeared from circulation due to heavy use, damage, and loss, while better preserved pieces gradually found their way into collections. What makes this particular coin stand out is its interesting appearance. The noticeable sky green spot on the reverse gives the quarter a unique character that immediately catches the eye. Collectors often study unusual surface features and natural aging patterns because they tell the story of a coin's long journey through time. Every mark and every detail can make a coin memorable, creating a conversation piece within a collection. The very fine condition of this quarter adds to its appeal. Important design details remain visible, allowing collectors to appreciate the craftsmanship of the Washington Quarter series. George Washington's portrait retains much of its original character, while the reverse design continues to showcase the classic American imagery that made these coins famous for generations. Another reason collectors enjoy the 1973D Washington Quarter is its place in the continuing history of one of America's most recognizable coin designs. By the early 1970s, the Washington Quarter had already become a familiar part of daily life, yet every year of production adds another chapter to the long-running series. Building complete date and mint collections encourages enthusiasts to seek out examples from many different years, including coins like this one. When specialists examine a 1973D quarter, they look closely at the mint mark, strike quality, surface preservation, rim condition, and overall eye appeal. The originality of this coin is especially important because collectors generally appreciate examples that have remained as natural as possible over the years. Proper preservation helps maintain both historical integrity and collector interest. Now it's time for the final value reveal of today's countdown. According to the estimated figure provided for this feature, this 1973D Washington Quarter, in very fine condition, with its distinctive sky green spot on the reverse, carries an estimated collector value of $20.30. Actual values for individual coins depend on authenticity, condition, collector demand, and professional evaluation. But interesting and well-preserved Washington Quarters continue to attract hobbyists and enthusiasts. For anyone searching through old collections or inherited coins, this quarter offers a simple but valuable lesson. Don't rush past a coin because it looks ordinary. Study the date, check the mint mark, and pay attention to unusual characteristics and overall condition. Small details often make collecting exciting, and preserving a coin's original appearance is always a wise choice. Avoid cleaning or polishing it, handle it carefully, and store it properly to protect its long-term collector appeal. As we reach the end of today's adventure, we've uncovered 5 remarkable Washington Quarters, 2 standout rarities, and 3 fascinating collector favorites that each carry their own piece of American history. Together, they show that the joy of coin collecting comes not only from the rarest discoveries, but also from learning the stories behind the coins that have traveled through generations of American life. Thank you for joining today's countdown on Rare USA Mint X. If you enjoyed exploring these incredible Washington Quarters, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because we bring fresh coin stories, collector insights, and exciting discoveries every single day. And before you go, take one more look at your own coin collection. You never know what piece of American history might be waiting to be discovered.